Alright, 6 o'clock, call the town board meeting to order. Notice proper notification.
The agenda was posted at the town hall and on the website on December 15th, 2022.
Alright, join me in the pledge. Roll call and notation of others.
Katie Appel.
Here.
Will Bergman.
Yep.
Jeremy Hall.
Here.
Sharon Kelly.
Here.
Mike Dorsey.
Present. Approval of the agenda.
I make a motion, we approve the agenda.
Is there a second?
Second.
Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Did you guys have a chance to look at the notes from our last meeting?
Mm-hmm.
I'm making a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve all the minutes from last meeting.
I'll second it.
Alright, everybody in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Recognition of audience. Anybody have anything you'd like to say that's not on the agenda?
Oh, I'm Denise Everett and, oh, I'm sorry.
That's okay. Alright, we'll get there soon.
Oh, sorry about that.
That's okay. Anybody else have anything to say? Alright. Committee commissions and employee reports, financial report.
I don't know, so the disbursements, I mean, that's like right now, right? Checks, like, where did this go for, lake services, unlimited, $70? And then Darrell Hall, I didn't see Darrell's report for the dog stuff.
So the checks that you're looking at were written out last month in the month of November. So more than likely you approved them at the November meeting.
Okay.
Do we have any question on the financial report?
Is that interest coming
Sorry.
I make a motion, we accept the financial report.
Alright, sorry. Is there a second?
Sometimes you guys do, sometimes you don't.
Yeah, I'll second it if we do.
Alright,
No roll call.
no. Hey, back to where we're at here. Clerk's report.
Was that a unanimous vote?
Yep,
Yes.
sorry.
No road maintenance?
Steve's got a paper form here in front of you. He's all doing this thing.
Oh, okay. Well, better than
Yeah, oh, and I will just send, just real quick back to the highway. So the total for November was $5,256.90 for salt and sand, and December was so up to date, $4,546.38. Of course, that'll grow because I think that was through the 17th. So that's a total of $9,803.29, and we won't be billed for that until probably February or March.
Do you recall off the top of your head what was budgeted for that?
For next year, no, I think it was around the same though as this, so.
We'll be sure.
That's smart, I would've looked at it on the financial report.
Let me just look here for the budget. I think it's roughly the same. Winter road maintenance, 15,000 is what we budgeted this year, and I think we kept it kind of the same.
Yeah, I think we did. I was just curious how much this took a chunk out of it.
So yeah, Do I have a typo
That's a
in there?
typo.
I know,
Oh, so it's
Yeah.
probably not as much as I said?
yeah.
Okay.
What's a typo?
Well, no,
Oh, it's
the
weight.
cost is the same, it's the
Yeah.
tier weight.
Oh, so the cost is times the tons, so,
Yeah, no,
Okay.
everything's fine, I just,
okay.
It does look like that though.
what, there's no way that it weighs 3,000 empty, that's what I was.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, guys.
No, alright, we'll move on to the clerk's report. What do you got for us? Do we have to approve this, resolution first?
Yep, so basically we are over. But there are funds in the general operation. And this should get us through the end of the year.
Okay.
I make a motion to approve resolution 22-46,
Is there a second?
15,000.
A second.
Roll call, please.
All right, Jeremy,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Sharon,
Yes,
Will,
Yep.
Mike.
Right. On to vouchers. Correct?
So really the only things I anticipate, I mean, once you look at this and, I'll just say before you approve these, I'm still waiting for the Taylor pit to get me an invoice for all the gravel this year. I've
for,
emailed them,
140.
I've called them, and I had Steve call them.
Okay.
So, you know, I wanna get that still, that'll be the cutoff for the 31st. Then there is still one more payroll, and there were, I think I'm expecting an invoice from Katie unless it's already sent to me.
I emailed it
Awesome.
after I sent
Yeah,
that.
awesome. So there's just a few things, but though, that's the biggie is the Taylor or the Taylor gravel pit will be a biggie.
Okay.
And then there was just a little more for postage for the tax bills. Tax bills went out Monday.
oh, they did, okay, fine.
Yeah. Yep. They were on the website, they went on the county's website, I guess, on the 15th.
Okay.
Was that Wednesday?
6 days
I
ago.
think I looked at mine on Monday.
Yeah,
'cause I
so
was
they
looking
put
at
them,
GIS for something else.
they run their reports and then release them to the place that prints them.
Okay,
So I believe it was Wednesday that once they finished running all their reports, then they go live on their website,
They're for
Okay.
sure up. It's on early.
so,
One other thing, can you put town hall phone in here? So it doesn't look,
sure.
just so people don't think the town's paying for my phone or something.
Oh, you don't, well, it's just you guys that see it,
Yeah.
but yeah, I can put that.
Which, on
why
which
does it
one?
say Jeremy's?
No,
Town
it says,
hall.
it says hall phone. I don't want
Oh.
people to think that the town's paying for my
That's
phone.
They don't
funny.
pay for yours, they pay for ours.
Yeah.
Any other questions on the disbursements before we make a motion?
Just clarify. a little more. I'll make a motion to approve disbursements 297 through 330.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Alright, roll call please.
Alrighty, Sharon,
Yes,
Jeremy,
Yes.
Will,
Yep.
Katie.
Yep.
Mike.
Alright, on to the financial report. Or, I'm sorry, the zoning report. Is he gonna wipe some of these off here that were?
Yeah,
Holy
holy moly.
The ones that are highlighted will be wiped off next year when I start for the next meeting. I will be following up with him again
Very
on
good.
making sure I've gotten everything and seeing if any of them drop off.
Okay,
So the gray ones will drop off, but
yeah,
the
I
other
just wonder
ones
about all
won't.
the ones from 2019.
That's not many of them, really.
No.
It's more the beginning of the report, I think you wanna see
Mhm.
go.
Yeah. Alright, anybody have any questions? Anybody have a supervisor report?
I don't have a report per se, just a question.
Okay.
So our work, Dave is helping, you know, St. Croix Township and Balsam Lake Township.
Yeah.
So he's in their grader and then he comes over and helps Steve. He just raised a question today, I don't know, I know he talked to Steve about, is there any way like he can just grade with Balsam Lake's grader and then will we let that swap go back and forth? I mean, it's kind of up to
Balsam
them.
Lake's good with it, you know, I mean, I don't care, I mean,
That's
it's kinda like,
what I said.
say, it's kinda like, blowing it out of a truck to them, you know, not that we
Yeah.
have to send it with an operator.
I was gonna ask Steve, I don't know if he's got the new batteries in it, so they died because of the batteries.
Yeah, he does, well, he said they got it started again and hasn't had any trouble since.
Well, not according to Dave.
Oh, well, I talked to Steve, yesterday, and he said that they didn't have any trouble since,
Okay,
but,
no, it started it, but just really hard.
okay,
So anyway, that was all, but I know these next few days he's on with both townships, and he's
Okay.
like, how easy would it be just to go down 140th?
and just own
And
time,
grade and not
Yeah.
switch.
I mean, that's fine.
Alright, so I thought maybe, yeah,
Do one snowstorm with theirs and one with another. I guess the only problem that I would see is if something
Liability.
breaks, you know,
Yeah.
or they hit something and, you know, damage a piece of equipment. 'Cause
and
it's
then
kinda
he
like
was, the diff lock on ours was giving trouble. You know, normally you go around a mailbox, you unlock it, and it's hard. So I was gonna ask Steve about it, but nothing critical, just, that was all, it was just more of a,
Is there another guy too that maybe can come help?
Yeah, I talked to Steve about it and,
Okay.
let him know that he was available.
Okay.
But he said, you know, they're getting along good with Dave right now.
Oh, okay.
So, you know, the guy's still willing. I talked to him yesterday and,
Well, I just thought,
For
so
plowing?
Dave, because of the hours, you can't
well,
go
that
over a
and
certain
Balsam,
hours.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean, if he's
if
putting
he
out over a
times
lot.
out, you know, and if you guys want,
You want, Steve will contact him, or just so we get his paperwork, so he's ready to
yeah,
go?
that's what I
if
was
he-
just gonna ask is, you know, if everybody is agreeing, then we can have the guy come up here, get set up. So if Steve needs him, cause Dave timed out, then he could just be a phone call away versus,
Yeah,
Would that be mostly for plow season?
yeah.
Okay. Or only plow season?
He's an operator for another excavating company, so, you know, he could drive or operate whatever we have.
The rate we're going,
He's laid off,
everyone's gonna
well,
time
he's
out.
laid off right now,
I
so,
think it's a good option.
Yeah, it's a nice op,
Okay.
and it's, usually they don't like to when they're laid off, it's nice when they're willing to.
yeah, and I don't know how we are about banking hours or not, but, if that's an option,
Banking hours for him and then just paying him at the end of the year
yeah.
versus, yeah, that's fine. He'll get a check though, we'll go through
Yeah.
payroll.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean, that's up to you guys, that's not I mean,
As long as
that's
he
a
doesn't
board
care, just to get
decision.
one at the,
I told him I'd ask about it, and he said that'd be great if he could, so he didn't sound like he had any trouble with it.
perfect.
I think we did it once for Dave, so,
Yeah, so that's what Balsam Lake does for Dave, once a year.
oh, they only do one check a year? Well, that's up to you guys,
Unless
They-
if we want expense from this year to stay in this year, like
Right,
one
right.
in
Yeah.
December and then the rest of the snow season would be the,
Following.
whenever snow is done. Just to keep
Carrying
our
over like
expense
$200
in.
bucks or something.
Yeah, I don't know if it matters on our end of
Okay.
how critical is it that it stays in the 2022.
Are you around?
I'd rather have another person.
I would
Oh,
too.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. When can you come up here? When's a good time?
I'll be back in the office on the 27th, regular hours, cause tax collection, people are gonna wanna, so I just took this week
Alright,
off.
I'll get a hold of him.
And Monday's a holiday for us,
He'll be up probably on that day to
okay,
fill out anything you need.
sounds good.
Alright, I have nothing else. In the new business, consider action regarding the violations for the special exception at 1980 140th Avenue. You guys all have a letter that you sent to us, correct? And, so what happened is, I got some complaints. I went over there, talked to the people that were there. They were very nice and compliant. I did talk to, forgot your first name,
Denise.
Denise. She was understanding, said she would check up on it. Then the next morning I got more complaints, and then that's when I called you back. And, so in their special exception, it said if there is any complaints within the first 2 years, then it comes back to the board. so that's where we're at now. Do you have anything you'd like to add to that? I mean, I wanna, you know,
Yeah,
be fair about what I'm saying here, you know?
no, I do have some cognitive issues, so I don't remember you calling me the next day, but that
Okay.
doesn't really matter. I just wanted to thank you all, for the opportunity to include us, and, just to, again, apologize that you were interrupted. It was kind of an unfortunate set of circumstances. The group that was there was supposed to be at Trollhagen, and there was no snow, so they were making the best of their event. It was Red Bull was lodging their sponsored athletes there. And so had Trollhagen been open, that wouldn't even been happened. We've had 18 months without any complaints. Over 78 rented days last year that I put in my annual report. And then the skate park that they were going to bring in, I thought was going to be rails. I did not ask for dimensions or anything. So when it came and was put where I said they could put the rails, I didn't think to talk to the county about a permit. And I have a long history of asking proactively for all kinds of information so that we do things within the confines of, even just as a resident, not just as a business operator. So we acknowledged that there were issues, and we just ask that you take reasonable action that's fair and impartial as you would other Airbnbs or in the past. And we're willing to put a more permanent gate up with signage because some people have moved our gate, things like that. But I think we've had a really good run, a really good business, and we have a really high rating on Airbnb, and we have lots of, you know, the town, you know, the business thing you belong to, the chamber. Yeah, they're very positive, and we have a lot of other businesses that we collaborate with, like Thirsty Otter Loggers, Trollhagen. Anyway, it was our goal to be a blessing to the community, and the guests there did not want to be a nuisance either. Even the music that they put up, they tried to position, so even if it was loud, that nobody would be able to hear it. Well, there's no leaves on the trees, and we all know that sound bounces around the way. And then just to thank you, Mike, for, you know, for professionally calling me and talking to me about it.
You guys have any other comments as long as we're on it?
I do.
Okay.
I am a neighbor. I live at 1386 State Road 35, so I'm directly,
In track with the
right,
speaker.
right across the public landing there. And my experience at that time was, number one, a bit of a surprise because there was lighting on that rail thing. But I took it, even though I know Denise, I didn't reach out to her directly. I actually just went down there, and the guy was just coming down to unplug it. And I said, you know, and I just, because I didn't know if it was theirs, you know, it was just like a new thing. But once he said, we're turning it off, and we're just here for this period of time, I was completely fine with it. And they adjusted, I even mentioned that the light was shining. Again, the trees, there's no leaves, so it came straight up to the window. But again, shut off, and then, so there really was no issue. I felt they were very accommodating and weren't meaning to be intrusive in any way. And then on the music type of thing, it was so faint. And it was the middle of the day. It was, you know, I'm like, well, they're having a good time, great, you know, I'm glad somebody's having a good time enjoying that. So I would just say that it was a positive kind of one-off thing. If there were any complaints that, you know, it's certainly not their situation to be drawing that situation. It was just a very unique, and I've lived there for over a year now. And before that, there's really, it's wonderful to see people come and enjoy it.
Can I get your name just for the minutes?
Sure, Kristen Possum.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, I didn't notice that.
No, that's okay.
I signed in.
Okay.
Anybody else?
We understand that we asked for we got the special permit and you guys gave that to us with the, you believe that we would operate that property, in a way that would enhance the neighborhood, not detract under the circumstances. We take that very seriously. And we appreciate your trust in us to manage that in a way that enhances the neighborhood and the township, and doesn't cause problems. This happened, like Denise said, we've had no problems in the year and a half that we've had it. And it really happened because of the weather. It was weather related. And we don't always know. I think eventually if you do something like that, you're gonna have a situation where you have a situation. And so, Mike, we appreciate you coming out right away. It was policed, you called Denise, we were there right after that. We asked them just to turn the music off. I think the lights were turned down. The next day, I have no idea why they brought that sound truck back. That was crazy. So the next day, got another complaint. The renters actually called us. They said the sheriff came, or a deputy, or whomever. We went there right away, and I just said, guys, it was right in the afternoon, Saturday afternoon. I said, we just can't have any music. Like, this is the neighborhood, this community. They got rid of it. The skate park, we talked to Jason. We got a written complaint from the meat checks, and we talked to Jason, and he said, when is it gonna be gone? It was gone within that period, within the guidelines of when he said it should be gone. And so, we've done everything that we could under the circumstances to take care of it. And after that Saturday, there were model renters for the next week. It was quiet, and they were at the ski slopes because they all opened up Monday. So we appreciate your consideration.
Okay, thank you. Do you guys have any comments you'd like to make?
Sure, I do,
Okay.
because I'm the one who got a lot of the calls. I know maybe the noise didn't go one way, but I had calls from the next bay over about what was going on, because they could hear the music all the way over on
Sure.
where the swimming bay is.
It carries. I
And
can hear it at Bayview.
yeah, down around the other side. And the officer, I know when I talked to them, they called it an event. And that's what it was. It was an event. And is the purpose of the Airbnb to have events? Or is it to be a place for people to stay and quietly enjoy themselves? Because it was an event. I mean, I was down there in the night when the lights were going, and the lights, I went down, the lights are on, the parking lot's full of cars, and that's part of the special exception. You can't be parking cars in that parking lot. They were driving through there and parking up in the front yard, and even after those people left, the next people that came in, there was cars parked up in the front again that they had come through where you used to have the fence or gate up, and there was cars parked up there again. And I took pictures when I went down to the boat landing, and we had to hire special equipment when you put trap rock in there to make that a driveway, and you were told to get that trap rock out of there, and you never did it. So we had to hire equipment and our maintenance guy to go in and push that trap rock up on your property. You never got charged for that, but I felt you should have been charged because taxpayers incurred an expense because you didn't take care of it like you were told to do. And when they brought in that half pipe thing, our maintenance guy had to go down and get the front, whatever, backhoe or whatever that piece of equipment is called, drive it down there, pick that equipment up and move it off the easement and move it to the side. And that's an expense that the township incurred, taxpayers incurred, because the rules weren't followed again. And it's just one thing, it's been one thing after another. And it's, I'm tired of getting calls from people because I live on the lake, so I'm the first one they call, and then I call Mike. And, we just get tired of that. And it's, it seems like it's just, you write letters, you apologize, and then we wait for the next thing to happen. Well, how many things can happen before we say, you know what, enough's enough? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, enough is enough. and you've not lived up to the rules of the special exception, and, cause it's clearly called out in the special exception that, it's a 2-year probationary period. You can't, there's no parking on Deer Lake Boat Launch, there was parking every single day those people there were there was parking there. I went down and checked every day.
I did too, and
All
I have
the-
photographs of there not
We have
being cars
photographed, there
there.
wasn't parking.
And
in
there
the
are
two
things that you're saying
2
that aren't
days.
accurate either.
Well, there were cars and the
People
gate
that-
was down and
Please.
they were parked up in that front yard. You could see where they drove through, cause you could see the tracks driving right through from the boat landing up to your front yard. That specifically says you can't do that. You can't access the property through the Deer Lake Boat Launch access. And these are things that, why do we have rules if we aren't gonna enforce them? That's my concern. That's my 2 cents. I'm done.
So, somebody have a recommendation?
I make a recommendation, we revoke their permit.
Well,
What, can I do that?
no, not today.
Okay,
If you wanna do that, we
want
can
to,
put it on the
goes
agenda.
Next month.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it'll have to be a public hearing to do
Yeah.
that.
okay, I would
I
like it
don't
on the
remember
agenda.
any other, this coming up before right now, at a meeting. This is the first that I remember of
This is the
seeing.
first offense that I'm aware of.
Okay, that's,
It's the first letter that I've authored.
Is there any more discussion?
So this is just the first written,
It was the first complaint that we
written
received that we
complaint,
dealt
but
with.
you
Yeah.
might have gotten phone calls.
Yeah, before, yeah, on other things.
Why was the town summoned to remove the half pipe? Or whatever it was?
It was on the access road.
Uh-uh.
Did Steve go down there and,
Yeah.
okay.
They told me he moved it.
How did he
There
get
was a
contacted?
loader?
I think he was down there plowing or whatever.
Yeah,
He was
he
down
saw
there.
it
Steve-
on the easement, so he
So
went
Steve
and
might have
moved it.
offered to
It was
help.
not built yet, it was a pile of lumber and
It's a
stuff
trailer.
that he,
It's a.
yeah, I didn't know what it was,
folds
he
open.
moved it,
Yeah,
yeah,
oh,
he
okay.
moved it.
Okay. What?
The way he made it sound, it was a pile of lumber, but I don't
Okay,
know.
no, they had, so it was a trailer, anyway, it doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
no,
because
I
that's
did
not
never
even
saw
our
it.
portion of this problem. That's the county's.
The access road?
No, for being too close to the lake. with
Oh,
this.
yeah, and
No, I was
the
just
county,
wondering, like, how we got involved in removing it.
If Steve was down there, he probably volunteered to go and
Sure.
help out.
but it's not the first time we've had to be down there
Sure.
moving things and doing things and renting equipment so we could go and move that trap rock off. So it wasn't a driveway going in off the boat landing.
is that applicable to what we're talking about?
That was before the special exception, wasn't it?
Correct,
No,
correct,
before the special exception?
yes.
Yes,
And we did not receive that
recall it.
we
notice
didn't even get it on notice.
because Jim Alt didn't have our correct address.
correct
So we never
address.
received that notice.
Yeah, we would have gladly
Oh,
gotten rid of the trap
We can
rock.
look it up. How about if you wanna put it on the next agenda, we can do that.
Okay,
And then it'll give us time to, investigate any of that, to whether we get, I don't know how we're
Even
gonna
if
do
it's
that. I
applicable
mean,
to, like, some of those things, I'm not saying it didn't happen or whatever, but that's not what's
No.
at hand, correct?
Correct.
What's
The
at hand
ones
is
are
this,
the ones,
this
with-
written complaint in this specific situation.
yeah,
Okay, cause this is the first one that we've had.
This is the first one.
And we are fully acknowledging,
Yeah, no, it's just in the rules that if we have a written complaint, that it comes up for review, and that's what we're doing here.
absolutely.
Alright, so we'll add it to the next agenda and we'll, discuss it then.
Do we need a motion? Nope, is it gonna be still a revoke public hearing, or what are we doing?
Yeah, I would
So-
say, in your agenda item, amend or revoke.
Amend or revoke, and then I have to do the publications because it's a public hearing.
Yes, ma'am. Same as what happened with the
Happens when we
storage.
issue it, yeah.
Remember
Yeah.
when we did the storage shed thing? Same
Yeah.
exact deal.
My name's Anna Nelson, I do the bookkeeping for the Airbnb, and I guess the only thing I would like to add is consideration of it, since this is the only complaint we received, either a fine or some other consequence than just revoking a permit. I feel like a one strike and revoke seems maybe not impartial or fair. But if there were costs incurred, a fine or some other, I don't know,
Yes,
consequence.
I don't know that we can discuss that here, it'll come up at the next meeting and, we'll decide.
Yeah, I just wanted that
Alright.
noted.
Sounds good, thanks everyone. On to the next item, 7B, license approval for additional operator license.
Make a motion to approve the 2 additional operators license resolution 2247.
Is there a second?
Yep.
Roll call please.
Jeremy,
Katie,
Yes.
Will,
yes.
Jeremy,
Yes.
Sharon,
Yes.
Mike.
Set a time and date for the town caucus.
Wednesday, January 18th, 2023, 7 PM, Town Hall. I did double check that date. Because my
And
dates
that
have
is
been
the
so
same
rough.
night as the board
Yep.
meeting.
What was the date?
January 18th,
Okay,
2023.
So our next board meeting.
7 o'clock, yes.
So right after our board, or,
Yeah.
We'll
Yeah.
recess
Yeah,
at 7
yeah,
to do it
yeah,
if we're
yeah,
not
yeah.
done.
Okay.
motion, I'll make a motion, or you're a second her motion.
Okay.
Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Alright,
Okay, wait a minute, who was the motion?
She
You,
did.
Katie,
I didn't say
and
motion,
Sharon?
sorry.
No, Katie and
Will.
Oh, well, okay. Sorry, I
She rattled it
was
off.
sleeping.
She rattled it
I
off
know,
so
I was
professionally.
not
It's all
paying
off guard
attention.
here.
Okay, so Will,
Yeah,
Sharon,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Jeremy,
Yes.
Mike.
Alright, on to 7D, discussion of the town sanitary district, so I threw this on there, some questions came up. I think you guys have all heard possibly that the hospital's gonna build. So then it brought up the discussion that, you know, it brought up the whole sanitary discussion again, you know? For water, sewer, so that's why I threw it on here so we could talk about it. I think the last thing we were told is that we have to have a customer before we invest anything. Is this something that we wanna pursue again, or do we wanna?
Is it based off of the hospital? Because
It was
I
just
already know
based in
they,
general,
okay,
because, you
they're
know,
gonna annex that. They-
Oh, I know they're
or-
gonna
Yeah,
annex
so it won't affect us,
but the city
right?
doesn't have, you know, I mean, I can't talk to the
Or
city,
would
but,
that we would get them because we could.
No, we're
If-
not gonna get that.
no, we're not gonna get that.
They've
But if
already,
we had our
they've
own-
already
It's
annexed
the
it.
future
If,
development
yeah,
around
future
it.
development, you know, do we
Okay.
try and invest to draw people into the town, or do we just let them keep annexing as they go?
But if we had it in place, would they go back to us as, but maybe
Well,
they
would they
wouldn't.
stay with
Yeah,
us is what
or
the
would they
question
stay
would be,
with
I
us?
guess.
But they'd have to get the other properties out of, that are already in, cause it's
Ye-
4 parcels.
It wouldn't be the
Yeah,
hospital.
The
it would
hospital is
be,
like
yeah.
out of play here.
Yep, it'd be future sanitary district.
Yeah.
Serve,
I just didn't know if there was any appetite to pursue it or not, you know, so.
Can we get more information about what that entails?
Well, yeah, somebody at the last plan commission said that there was, I mean, it's basically a big money thing, you know, we can't go and sink millions of dollars into infrastructure that we don't have a customer for. They thought that there was some state grants to help you out with that. I don't know what that involves, he was gonna check into it. And, I said I'd poke into it a little bit too, I haven't yet.
maybe reach out to other townships that were in our situation that have explored it and
I mean, I
Stuff
feel
like
like
that.
this is kind
We
of a
should
repeat of what
always-
we did before,
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
you know, so I mean, is it something you guys wanna look at again or not?
I don't think it costs nothing to look,
No, it doesn't.
I mean.
What if there is
Is this gonna
grants?
keep coming?
Mhm.
In my opinion, but. What do you think?
will they ever be I mean, I hear conflicting things. Do they need a new septic? Would they be okay? And water?
This city? Yes.
Because I hear both extremes. And I don't know who to believe. I mean, that's what I mean, so if you know
I
something,
believe that they're at capacity now, if more building happens,
They're gonna need
they're
to,
gonna have to do something. Are we gonna be their alternative? I don't know, that's.
or will they go off on their own anyway?
Correct.
Okay.
I think we should talk with the city to see if there's any, reasoning with those guys to see,
If
are
we
you guys
did
willing to
it.
work with us if we do invest in a sanitary district? I think that would be one of the first moves to make, just because, why would we, I don't know.
And
If we
try to
go-
get an agreement
Yeah,
or
if-
something that they
If
would,
we go looking for money and then, we don't have, I think we're kinda getting ahead of ourselves if we don't have an agreement.
and there is some interest, isn't there, from some of
I
the
believe
members?
some of the board is interested in, again, I can't speak for them, but,
No,
I
So-
think,
I can think of one or two that
Would you-
maybe would be.
You would reach out to them or
sure,
something
I can
about
talk to the
asking?
city
And then as
and,
far as like if there is grants and whatnot, how do we look into that?
they gave me a website, it was, I think it's Wisconsin DNR sanitary something or other.
Okay, so they're not hard to find, we could
No.
figure something, okay.
There's a lot of money, but don't you need almost a grant writer? Like
You
an
probably need a
engineer
grant
service?
writer and, I forgot the other thing.
You might wanna talk to the county because they write a lot of grants over there with the DNR. I mean, a lot. And they could maybe point you in the direction who you should be talking to and,
You probably have to have an engineered plan too.
yeah,
So, I mean, they aren't just gonna free will give you $2 million unless you have a plan, kinda like with our roads. So, I mean, there'd be money that we'd have to pay for engineering, and then
At least once
we
it's
don't
done,
even,
it's
we don't
done,
have
yeah.
a site secured right now for water, we have a couple ideas, but,
We'd still have to test it.
well, one's been tested,
Mhm.
but,
Did it fail? I can't
No.
remember.
no, it
It
passed,
passed, it did, okay.
but the landowner wanted quite a bit of money,
Now we
That's
have a
old,
different
too.
landowner.
yeah,
Yeah.
different land.
Oh, that is that one, okay.
Alright, so, does somebody wanna look into DNR grants?
Is there like a company that can give us a presentation of like, it's cost this per mile and
Everyone signed off on it.
like,
If you wanna
just so
hire
we
a
can
consulting firm, but that's buku bucks.
I
Like, I
felt
don't
like
even
the
know where
last
to start.
consulting firm was a
Yeah,
waste
I don't
of
think,
money.
I think it was a waste of money.
What is it?
How about if we just talk to the city first, see if we can, start
I think that's
hammering
where
out
we start.
an agreement, to see if they're
Just to
I'll kinda
But
ask
they
around
might
over there
they
too.
might take 2 months to get back to us on that even, so yeah.
true.
Where
Okay.
is, what land are they talking about?
Behind,
South of Quick Trip.
yeah,
For who, the hospital? Yeah,
Two of the parcels are in the city, and I believe it was already a public hearing this week on
I mean,
the,
I
on the
did, yeah, and I
annexation.
did talk to the city administrator, and he said, this is a opportunity for us to, revenue share. So, at least they're being, decent about that so far.
It's like it's 4 parcels and it adds up to like 110.
Can we do that
Yeah.
at Quick Trip, revenue share?
No,
I thought they gave us something.
which
on
makes
it.
more
I
sense.
thought they gave us
He
something
gave us
too.
like
No.
maybe 10 years or something.
Yeah.
oh, did they on
The
that
city.
one?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
okay, on that
It's
agreement.
not Quick Trip, it's the city.
Yeah, the city.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
I guess that must have been part of the boundary agreement.
Which we haven't seen a final on, right?
Yeah.
Oh, we did see a final on that?
Yep.
Okay,
It
we're
was
getting on a
approved.
topic here. Alright, so we're gonna pursue
Alright.
sanitary just to see if there's any interest, right?
yeah.
Does anybody have, on to item E, does anybody have any training you'd like to go to? Steven, have anything coming up that you know?
Not that I'm aware, Masha will be, I haven't seen an email yet, but that's usually for the pit, or for the, that's usually February, March. Seems like it's always during snow.
Alright, we're back to public comment. Anybody have any comments you'd like to make? Alright, thank you for coming.
I have a question,
Oh, okay. I agree.
regarding the
Public
complaint.
comment, you can talk to us, but we can't really answer you.
Oh, okay, thank you. Then,
Any other business? Set a date, I think we just did that with, the 18th, correct?
Yes, same date.
Alright,
Make a motion.
to adjourn, second,
Second.
are in favor?
Aye.
Hi.
Aye.
Drive safe.
Go
Merry
fast,
Christmas,
take chances.
everyone.
Yep, thank you.
Storage buildings right there, Shane?
There is, yeah,
Who did get access?
it goes all the way down. And then back behind.
And if it's AC
Would they-
down there.
So is that 200?
Yeah.
Would they?
I think I forgot.
Is that off?
Would they
No.
half into storage buildings?
I think
Yes.
at
So it
Wilbur.
would actually be
Huh?
south of Menards.
Yeah.